Hey everybody, Dauntless here, and welcome back to The Last Door Season 2. Now, you might remember that this series has a really good recap system, so I am just going to go straight into Episode 2, My Dearest Visitor. Do I hit new game? Previously on The Last Door. Wakefield and Kaufman followed the only clue they had on Devitt's location, the recipient of Anthony's disturbing letter, Alexander Dupree. Wakefield visited the East Hill Asylum to gather some information on Dupree's past. Wakefield discovered that Dupree was the leader of a secret society known as the Playwright. He learned that they practiced rituals with the goal of peering through the veil, the line that separates the common world from an outer void full of horrors. One of East Hill's patients turned out to be a member of the Playwright, but she escaped the asylum. Wakefield and Kaufman followed her to her hideout, a cabin in the mountains, when suddenly a big flock of birds appeared. I must forget nothing. Everything must be set. When the time comes, and I am visited again. I'm assuming he just sealed himself inside. Alright! And here I am sitting in dead silence, trying to come up with something to say, but to be honest, I'm at a loss for words right now. Did this woman get eaten by all those birds? Kind of like Anthony Beechworth. He was eaten by all the birds. But he was technically dead already, so. For a moment, the sky was dark. We heard the calls of 1,000 birds, but another sound rose above them. A sound I cannot describe. Ho-ho! What? What just happened in here? Where is Miss Conhay? We are too late. Whoa! The windows are covered with wooden planks. It looks as if she were trying to keep someone from entering. Or something from getting out. That's actually kinda cool. It is ashes. Chalk. A circle drawn hastily on the floor. She thought it would prevent what she knew was about to happen, but she was wrong. Well, how do you know that? I do not know what to make of all this. I do. Oh good. Could you mind sharing your information with me? Oh boy. Are you alright, Kaufman? It is nothing, my friend. Just a bit of a cold. Now, my friend, I think we should talk. In light of the events we have recently witnessed, the matter cannot be delayed any further. You must make an important decision. It is not yet too late to go back to our daily lives. If you do not want to continue, you must forget all about your patient, Jeremiah Devitt. You will have to keep yourself to every keep to yourself everything you have learned about the mystery of his disappearance, and never talk about it again. But should you wish to continue this search, you will need to accept the consequences, whatever they may be. Please do not take this decision lightly. The path ahead is not without peril. You already know my answer, Kaufman. I must know what happened to Devitt. So be it, then. As you may have already realized, this matter involving your patient transcends the limits of psychiatry as we know it. We are not dealing with the effects of trauma or the demons of the subconscious, at least not in terms we are used to. We are dealing with something old, something dark, a sinister truth that has been buried deep for generations. This man, Alexander Dupree, and his organization, I think they seek to uncover these secrets, and I fear they might have already. Miss Conway's fate, whatever it was, must be related somehow, but my knowledge of this area is simply not sufficient. We must pay a visit to an old friend, someone I never thought I would want to see again. The man who introduced me to the extended scientific field of the occult. My mentor, Professor Adam Wright. Like the playwright? Well, he's got to be telling the truth with a name like Wright. Season 2, Episode 2. My Dearest Visitor. Wickport! Alright, off to Wright Manor. I doubt he is away at this time of day. Perhaps he cannot hear us from the front. Let us try the back door. Alrighty then. Well, I'll just break and enter. I wonder if that's a common thing they did back then, was just go around to the back door and just walk right in. Mrs. Oakwood! She is the manor's housekeeper. Yes, who is it? Good morning, Mrs. Oakwood. Don't you remember me? Why, Dr. Kaufman, bless my soul. It's been so long I hardly recognized you. How nice to see you again. Allow me to introduce my colleague, Dr. John Wakefield. Is the professor at home? I would like to see him. Why, yes, doctor, of course. I am quite forgetting myself. Let me take you to him. It is really good of you to come. He receives so few visitors these days on account of his condition. His condition? Oh, sir, I'm right sorry. I thought you knew. The professor, he suffers from an ailment afflicting his brain. He is now entirely confined to his bed. Oh, that's going to give us a lot of information. Oh, he was from the start. Professor Wright, you have visitors. One of them is your old friend. Look, look, do you recognize him? It is Johann, Professor, your old pupil. I reckon he does remember you, Johann. It has been a long time since I have seen him so excited. Yeah, I can definitely tell him staring off into the window like that. I will leave you two to talk to the professor. It may be difficult to keep him on one subject for long, but oh, it does him such a world of good to speak with old friends. Should you need my assistance, I will be in the backyard. All right. Professor? Uncle James, you're back! It is I, Professor, Johann Kaufman. Where is father? Where has he been taken? He suffers from some kind of memory loss. Yes, I am afraid he will not tell us much in this state. If we could but stimulate his memories. Maybe then he could tell us of his research. Something to unravel the mystery of the playwright. Perhaps. We have few other options in any case. Let us try. Why don't you explore the manor? There may be some object we can use to jog the professor's memory. Meanwhile, I will try to talk to him about the time we researched together. That could help him remember. A large wardrobe of engraved wood. Remember those times? Professor Wright? Father, why must you spend so much time away? Father. We must find a way to help the professor recover his memories. Why don't you try to find some object that the professor may have kept as a memento? Meanwhile, I will keep talking to him about the years we spent researching together. Professor Wright's gaze remains fixed on the window, as though he were waiting for someone. The snow is falling outside, slow and silent. Just like over here right now. I can't open that, so let's just head out. A lamp provides a soft glow that somehow lacks warmth. Well, it could be that cold blue wallpaper. A painting of the ocean at the end of the afternoon. There is a figure in black on the beach, but its face is shrouded by a hood. Interesting. Arrgh! Locked door. It's locked. The sign on the door reads attic. An engraving on paper. The script is from a language unknown to me. Could it be a Cthulhu language? An oil painting. It shows an obscure medieval scene. Aha! I love unlocked doors. A gilded pipe. It runs from the floor to the ceiling. Though I see myself in the mirror, the reflection is strangely distorted. A large porcelain tub. Its hefty weight supported on 4 blackened iron feet. A thin ring of damp residue around its interior suggests recent use. A common radiator. Okay. Wait, could I use that pipe? Nope. Okay. An old stone tower is depicted in the painting. Thorned vines have slithered across the entrance, forming a swarming blockade that almost seems to come alive when stared at for too long. Huh. Weird. All these people have really surreal paintings. It won't open. A portrait of Professor Wright. His appearance was quite different back then, an imposing, inquisitive figure. An antique ceiling lamp. Or a chandelier. A porcelain jar containing some dried branches. I guess the whole thing is that. Oh, cool. An enormous painting showing a torrential river and the waves splashing on the banks. In the background I can see an old church, apparently abandoned. You can't look at too many of the pictures here. Oh, I can look at this one. Oh, there's that copper pipe. A sea landscape. A gilded pipe. It runs from the room at the end of the corridor to the room upstairs. Oh, it doesn't come from the radiator up there. It was coming through the floor past the radiator. Ah. More locked doors. It is locked. I kind of noticed that. So what's over here then? Oh, excuse me. A gilded pipe. It runs from the ground to the corridor. A cast iron wood stove. Ooh. A bread oven. Dang, fresh bread. That's gotta be nice. Various ingredients. Glass jars filled with spices and pickled food. I think I can grab there. I won't go out back because I think that's where the housekeeper is. Well, I guess I will be heading out there. The door is locked shut. A small sign reads basement, which is where the gilded pipe is. So, whatever the gilded pipe is doing, one of its origins is down there. May I ask you something, Mrs. Oakwood? Of course, Doctor. How did the professor become afflicted? The ailment runs in his family. Mr. Wright suffers from it, as did his father and grandmother before him. It is truly a terrible thing, and to think all these years Mr. Wright knew what would become of him. May God have pity on his poor soul. This ailment that runs in Professor Wright's family, do you know what its symptoms are? Well, I can't speak those very long words physicians use, but I can tell you what I see in him. Professor Wright hardly remembers a thing from the last 40 years. It is like he is a child again. With God's mercy, it has now gone so far that it torments him no longer. I will leave you to your work. Thank you for your assistance. Have a good day, Dr. Wakefield. A thick layer of ice covers the pool of water. Okay, yeah, it's just talking about that same thing. Wow, that tree looks slightly different than the others. This oak tree looks ancient, probably older than the manor itself. Ooh. The queen has removed her mask. There is an empty hole where her face should be. The statue portrays a clergyman hiding his face behind a mask. Wow, these guys are really into their stuff. I mean, a secret organization, yeah, but geez, they've got like whole massive, excuse me, moving my chair, whole massive pieces of art and stuff just all over the place. We're a secret organization with our own art team. The central statue portrays a cloaked figure holding a clay vessel. The vessel has a small hole in it, just large enough to see a metal object hidden inside. When the four remove their masks of lies, the path to the grave will be cleared. Okay, so it's a puzzle. It's a lock, basically. The sage has removed his mask. There's an empty hole where his face should be. So I need to get these two guys to take their masks off. The statue portrays a peasant woman with her face hidden by a mask. Okay, so I gotta figure out how to get those to move. Oh, excuse me. Okay, and I think the front door... There's a strange ornament on the wall. I think I can move it. Interesting. I wonder if that changed the statues. Yep, the one over here has her face covered now, so that one does need to be turned the other way. So I figured out part of this. I just got to find more of these things. And I think this door is locked, isn't it? The main door is closed from the inside. Yep, I probably should go around and, like, undo that. Okay. Now, it's when all their masks are off. I'm sorry, my memory is dying on me right now, so I'm like, was it off or would all their masks need to be open? I think it's open. Yeah, remove their masks. So, yes, that little thing does need to be turned. But I think that served as basically showing you this is what you're looking for. So let's head back inside and see what else we can find. Alright, that one's locked. I wonder if it unlocks the, Okay, so one of these is the front door. I think it's this one. Let's go unlock that so I can get around a little easier. Yep, there's the front door. Okay, the front door is now open. And we can get to that item a little bit quicker. Wow, nice library. Professor Wright has an eclectic collection, from old adventure novels to treatises on the occult sciences. Some of these titles, I believe, have been forbidden by the Crown. Whoa! I want one. A tin soldier. It looks to have been painted by hand. It commemorates a military campaign that I have not heard of. I'll take that. Could it hold some special significance to Professor Wright? Perhaps it will help stimulate his memories. A painting of the cliffs of this region. Oh, fireplace. A fire burns fiercely, rendering the air thick and heavy in this room. I don't know. I have always thought fireplaces make things nice and cozy. A globe. The surface is extraordinarily detailed. Judging by the strange shape of the continents, this must derive from a fictional work or some prehistoric era. Oh, this. I remember that puzzle now. It is locked. I can hear the racket of many birds on the other side. Oh, birds, you people and your birds. If you're so terrified of this thing, why do you keep them around you at all times? Okay, so I'm going to show them that, but I'm going to try out... It has a picture of a tower, so I'm wondering if it opens up the door to the attic if I turn it. So let's do that. And then we'll head in this way. It won't open. Okay, this one was the attic, right? Arg! Okay, so I'm nowhere near as clever as I thought. You, take a look at this soldier and tell me what you know. Do you recognize this Professor Wright? Sergeant Downing was sent to the front. The man that returned was not Sergeant Downing. Oh, my dearest visitor. He will know where to look. Oh, what a time we will have. Your visitor? What do you mean, Professor? He will have seen the map, and he will know the Book of Travels. The Book of Travels? Yes, yes, he will work it out. But I must not be too easy, no? But he will find the prize, I am sure. Prize? What on earth is he talking about, Kaufman? Something concealed. Something precious. In his adult state, could he have hidden away parts of his research? He was always a proud man. He would not easily have forgotten his groundbreaking work. A sense of its grave importance at least would have remained. In his confusion, perhaps he has holed it away somewhere for his dearest visitor of his to find. Why don't you explore the manor? Perhaps something will relate to his latest ramblings. Meanwhile, I will continue my endeavors to revive his memories through conversation. Yeah, that's working really well. Okay, dearest visitor. Like, everything is locked, though. I feel like it has to have unlocked something. Maybe it unlocked this. Nope. Arg. Alright. Maybe she can tell me something. May I ask you something, Mrs. Oakwood? Of course, Doctor. Professor Wright mentioned something, the Book of Travels. Do you know what that might mean? Why, yes, Doctor. I know that story well. I do indeed. He often asks me to read it to him. The book should be in the library. Oh, thank you. I will leave you to your work. Thank you for your assistance. Have a good day, Dr. Wakefield. Okay. That was way more useful than I thought. There's a large volume here, quite worn out. It is an illustrated edition of the Travels of Marco Polo. Perhaps this is the Book of Travels that Professor Wright mentioned. There is a mark on one of the pages. We begin our journey by crossing the unforgiving desert. Okay, so... Let me start taking notes here. Desert. Always facing the setting sun. Which means he went... The sun sets in the west. So he goes west. At last we arrived at the merciful sight of the great ocean. So he hits the ocean. But follow the coast north. In dear hope of reaching our home soon. Okay. It was not to be. The king of the land we traversed had declared war on the great Khan, so we were forced to return as we had come. So they go back. We never set foot in that bloody land again. We knew there was a port just a few miles to south, where we could find a boat. Our sea voyage was short, as our sails billowed with the powerful southern winds. We reached the most eastern cape and landed there. Our backs to the sea, we marched forth and soon reached home. So they reached the most eastern cape. And then landed there, and then with their backs to sea, they marched forth and soon reached home. Alright, I remember this puzzle, but I don't remember the exact solution. And the reason is because this one was evil. So this looks like a desert to me. So I'm going to say... Oh, look, they got it all right there. Okay, so they were going west, so they go desert, ocean, north, north, south, no, okay. Oh, this one was always annoying. Okay, they begin their journey. Okay, they cross the desert, going west. They hit the ocean, and then followed the coast north. So let me jump back, and hopefully it'll reset. Okay, so let's start with doing this one page at a time. So we're going to go from the desert to the ocean, and then they follow it north. The king of the land we traversed had declared war on the great Khans, and we were forced to return as we had come. We never set foot in that bloody land again. We knew there was a port just a few miles to south where we could find a boat. The sails billowed with the southern winds. We reached the easternmost cape and landed there. Our backs to the sea, we marched forth. Oh! Oh! I feel so accomplished right now. Last time I did this, it took me so long to figure that out. It seems to have triggered a hidden mechanism. A small compartment is open in the globe. There is a sealed letter inside. It is simply addressed to my dearest visitor. Kaufman needs to see this before it is opened. Really? Why? I would just read it and just make sure it's useful. But we'll assume that when he says dearest visitor, it probably means Kaufman. Everything wants Kaufman. Here, have it. It's your darn letter. Kaufman, look, I found an envelope. It was hidden inside a globe that a strange mechanism opened. To my dearest visitor, let us see what is inside. Exactly. This is part of an intricate riddle, but to what purpose? To conceal something, perhaps? Or just the last act of a confused and drowning mind? I am increasingly of the opinion that this is some mental construct, some riddle conjured up by the professor's failing mind. He may not even have understood what he hid. Those seeking wisdom must first know our own foolishness. Reflect on yourself in the heat of passion to reveal what the cold eye of logic sees not. The mirror upstairs. A riddle. And who would this visitor be? That is unknown to me, mein friend. There is only one way to answer that question. If we can find the answer to the professor's riddle, perhaps we will be able to solve this mystery. It's, this. Reflect on yourself, said the riddle, and the cold eye of logic sees not. Could there be something here, hidden somehow? I need hot water. Which means I need to get into the basement. Let's see if the housekeeper can help me out again. Oh, she's not even here. Maybe she's already in the basement. Oh, there she is. May I ask you something, Mrs. Oakwood? Of course, Doctor. Do you know, is the professor fond of puzzles or riddles? Indeed, yes. He has long been an enthusiast of every mind game you can imagine. In better days, he would host parties every month, themed soirees, he called them. Oh, those were good times. It seems long ago now. I'll leave you to your work. Thank you for your assistance. Have a good day, Dr. Wakefield. The door is locked shut. A small sign reads basement. Oh, glass jar is filled with spices and pickled food. There is a matchbox here too. I'll take it. I may need these matches later on. Is there something here I'm seeing? An old teapot. It is filled with cold water. Oh, I see what I'm gonna do. If I want to heat the teapot on the stove, I will need to start a fire first. The stove already has plenty of wood, so then just use the matchbox. Nice. The water will cool soon. And don't go outside with it. Aha! Reflect on yourself in the heat of passion to reveal knowledge that the cold eye of logic sees not. Condensation from the teapot's steam has revealed a hidden message. I'll add this clue to the letter. Knowing yourself, you may look upon your master. Ugh. Ah. My mouth does not want to do this right now. Meet his imposing gaze and seek to understand what lies beneath. Thereby, learn the question, if not the final answer. Okay, knowing yourself, you may look upon your master. Knowing yourself, you may look upon your master, meet his imposing gaze, and seek to understand what lies beneath. The statue, maybe? No, the picture! Look upon your master. Meet not only his imposing gaze, but seek to understand what lies beneath. As I suspected, there is a small key taped to the back of the picture frame, and a note. I'll add this clue to the letter. The question is the world from the peak of man's tallest tower. The answer yearns up to it from the root of life and time itself. Attic. The key does not fit this keyhole. Ah, oh, my accenting is doing really bad today. Oh my goodness. At least I was right on that. A shelf covered in old ornaments. Pieces of metalwork and pipes of strange shapes. That feels more better. More better! It's betterer! An unusual electric device. I'm unfamiliar with its function, but I can tell there is a piece of equipment missing. Ah. Some kind of round mechanism. The statue portrays a queen with her face hidden by a mask. The clergyman is hiding his face. I think everybody is hiding their face right now. The answer yearns up to it from the very root of life and time itself. I should check if there is something hidden near that tree. Okay, so this one needs to be opened as well. And the other one does too. A shelf covered in old ornaments. Pieces of metalwork and pipes of strange shapes. Didn't I already look at that? Alright, let's head downstairs. How did I get that other puzzle? Oh, there it is. Okay, okay, there it is. I was like, wait a minute, where's that? Where'd I get the root of time and life itself thing? I'm gonna go this way because I'm pretty sure I gotta put this one back the way it was. It looks as though something has been concealed beneath the thick roots. Another note and a key bound together. I'll add this clue to the letter. It is a truth our ancestors knew with stone silence, come to unknow. This key has been engraved with the shape of a feather. A feather. Oh, the room with the birds! Which was this way? Yeah, it was on the other side of the library. Yeah, my accents are really inconsistent this time. Like, normally I can do my main character pretty good, but... Ugh. I'm doing Johann Kaufmann better, but that's because I think I'm giving him more of a distinct sound. Yeah. Inside this cage, there is a bird with a black head and orange breast. The sign reads, Pure Hola, Pure Hola. A truth that our ancestor knew, and through stone silence came to unknow. There is a small compartment at the base of the bust. Inside this, a note. Not only by entering the gnashing jaws of primal horror. Primal horror? An embroidered cloth covers this cage. On it is written, if the birds are silent, the phrase trails off. If the birds are silent. Inside the cage there is a crow with a black and gray feathers. The sign reads, Corvus Cornix. Inside the cage there is a small bird with black and white wings with a feathered crest. The sign reads, Upupa epops. This bird is black with a yellow beak. The sign on it reads, Turdus marula. It was obviously the bird that nobody really liked. That darn tortoise! Horse, one that the doctor rides around on. The bird inside has a gray breast and brown wings. Passer domesticus. A bird with red feathers on its head and breast. Erithicus rubecula. There is a bird with a pale brown breast inside this cage. The sign reads Lucinia megarhinchos. A curious bird with long legs. The sign on the cage reads Porphyrio aleni. Okay, so I'm going to hope and pray that there's a book that's going to tell me about all these birds. Because I have no idea which one I'm supposed to cover up. Okay, so I'm not going to be messing around with that. What does it say again? If the birds fall silent. And then this says... The gnashing jaws of primal horror. Entering the gnashing jaws of primal horror. What in... here, we'll cover you up. The bird inside grows suddenly quiet. Darn it. The bird inside grows suddenly quiet. Yeah, I'm supposed to cover up some specific bird. Well, there's not too many of them, so let's just try them all. I'm hoping it'll show something as having changed. The primal jaws of gnashing horror. I didn't see any statues or anything. I'm wondering if it has something to do with being able to silence all of them at once. Yeah, I don't think it's messing with any of these. Yeah, okay. Oi. Entering the gnashing jaws of primal horror. Oh my goodness, I am at a total loss. Nope, nothing with her. Gnashing jaws of primal horror? What in the world? Like, there's nothing else here. Nothing has changed here. I wonder if all their, Okay, I'm gonna try and have all of them closed. All the masks covered. Oh! Oh, the lion outside! Aha! Only by entering the gnashing jaws of primal horror. There is something hidden in the lion's mouth. A lever. I think it has triggered some mechanism inside the manor. There is also a note here. I'll add this clue to the letter. You will at last know the truth. Could this be the last part of the riddle? Okay, let's open everything back up again. Okay, what did we activate? That's still locked. Everything seems fine there, unless the basement is unlocked. Nope. That's still locked. Nope. Okay. I'll check in here. Oh wait, there was a secret door over there! Aha! A secret passage is open at the end of the corridor. This looks like Professor Wright's archive. I shall bring Kaufman here at once. Why? I know I ask that a lot, but sometimes I'm just like, why can't I just look through all this? But okay. Experiments 1885. Let us see. Have a look at this. Be careful, there is a small key inside the folder. I'll take that. 1st of August 1885. Results at last. After many months of tedious observation, something has finally come from the other side. I heard the sound of footsteps exploring the proximity of the stone archway. This would seem to verify my hypothesis. Absolute horror is the key that we seek. Now that they have proven themselves useful, I have installed 2 new devices in the outer tunnels. I dare not go deeper. I have heard it again, but I know the thing must still be down there in the dark. 12th of November. Containment in the underground tunnel has been breached. Blank gone. I have no choice but to abort the experiment. I can no longer be controlled. It can no longer be controlled. There is but one thing left to do. I will seal the tunnel and hope that the abomination remains forever entombed within. But what is this supposed to be? It seems to be a log that the professor kept during one of his experiments. Thank you for that brilliant observation. Almost 70 years ago. It is noteworthy that one of the entries has been redacted. But what is written in there? It cannot be true. There must be some kind of hallucination. A sign of Professor Wright's illness, maybe. Perhaps, though, we should not jump to conclusions. We can conclude that the professor had another working place, underground. Perhaps that key opens the basement door. There could be a route through this underground tunnel. Meanwhile, I will keep looking through these documents. There must be something here more than that folder among this mess. A set of framed silhouettes. Under each is an inscribed plaque. Mr. Strachan was a well-dispositioned man. He fell madly in love with the younger daughter of the Bartleys, and so he proposed to her. Young Agnes fancied the idea of marrying an older man, but she always hid her feelings from her mother. Mrs. Bartley did never take her eyes off her daughter, and watched them at all times. Mr. Bartley tried to show his support for their daughter, but his wife never paid any attention to him. A compartment has opened in the wall. That should have opened up something, right? Right? Piles of paper of all kinds, discarded notes, letters, and receipts, all mixed up. Some shredded paper. It appears to have been notes. Many folders. They have no distinctive tag on them. Alright, basement time. which is in here. It's completely dark in here. I can feel a cold draft coming from the front. Oh, this isn't creepy at all. I have run out of matches. Press on, brave men! You can do it! That sounded good. Oh, hi! I've fallen through a hole. Where am I? The flow of air is stronger here. It looks like a component of some sort of machine. Maybe I can find out where to use it. Oh, this is for that thing. Hey, a lantern! A working lantern. Now I can get out of here safely. This is part of the tunnel. This part of the tunnel is blocked by a cave-in. The underground tunnel is not accessible from here. I should go back. The way is blocked by a cave-in. The one that the guy did. Thank goodness, a ladder. Ah, and there's the other one. Ha ha ha! We're making progress! It is a mechanism of some sort. I'm hearing the soft drip, drip, drip of blood. Your basement sucks! Do you dust down there ever? If we cannot access the tunnel mentioned by Professor Wright's log, how can we find the missing parts of his research? I must talk to Kaufman about this. I was able to use the key to explore the basement. There is a large hole in the floor. One side of the hole may lead to some sort of tunnel, but it was completely covered in rocks and debris, so I could not tell for sure. Covered in debris. It sounds as if the professor succeeded in blocking the entrance of this underground area. It is unfortunate for us. I have made some progress of my own, my friend. I think this could help us elucidate the next step in our research. Have a look. Today, a meeting finally took place. You see, Mr. Wright, our organization is keenly interested in your research. We could reach an agreement to fund this project. But first, we need to know the details. I understand. The main factor is the condition of the test subject. How open he is to suggestion. As you know, only the human mind can open a physical passage to the other side. So complete absolute darkness will be required for the experience to result. A secluded place, completely isolated. A place that can only bring thoughts of what may hide in the dark. I have the perfect location in mind. But in total darkness and seclusion, how could the result of the experiment be studied or confirmed? That is precisely where your organization can provide help. I've designed a special device that would allow me to listen from a safe distance, but I lack the means to manufacture it myself. That we could arrange. But there is one last thing I would like to know. How would the experience be triggered? By means of a chemical compound of some kind? Do you mean a serum? Not at all. That would be of no elegance whatsoever. The trigger is the mind itself, the emotion known as terror. The primal fear that still survives in the depths of our mind from the times humans were mere beasts. That which allows us to open a physical passage beyond the veil of rational thought. Primal terror is the key that we will use to open the last door. Wow, these guys aren't even using chemicals. They're forcing people to open the thing up with their own brain. Could this organization be the Playwright? It may be, my friend. If so, then we are closer to the truth than we thought. But this room I have been able to find only some fragments of information, discarded material. It looks as if the main bulk of documents were moved from this room and hidden somewhere else. The basement tunnel. That seems to be most reasonable conclusion. But access to that place is lost, is it not? The entrance was sealed. There may be another access we do not know about. If we could find and use the device that the professor mentions in his log, I believe we could shed some light on this matter. All right. And I know exactly what they're talking about. I think it will work now. Huh. This sound. Do my ears deceive me? Is that a piano melody? I must seek Kaufman at once. Right there. Not to state the obvious, but it sounds as if someone is still playing down there. Playing the piano of all things. But how is that even remotely possible? I do not know, but this means something important to us. It means there is another entrance to the underground tunnel, and that we must find it. But we have run out of leads. You did not find anything of use in the archive, and Professor Bright continues to mutter incoherently about childhood memories. You must hypnotize the professor, my lieber friend. We are running out of options. This might be the only way to find the answers we seek. Oh, okay. Look at this candle. Fix your eyes upon it. Your body is as light as a feather. I am a monkey. Oh, sorry. Thing is too darn effective. Everything around you fades. You are entering a dark, endless void. Listen to my voice. Where are you? A great number of trees surround me. The sun is setting soon. I can go north and west. Go north. I stand beside a waterfall. It is not water that falls, but mud and rock from a great height. They fall into a bottomless abyss. Behind the waterfall to the east lies a tunnel. To the west, I see the edge of the forest. Okay, to the east lies a tunnel. That sounds like kind of what I'm looking for. I'm in a dark tunnel. Oscar is here as well. He is upset. He yells at me. He begs me to stop. The tunnel divides into many passages. I can go north, south, and west. I am in a large open space with a piano. Something stands next to the piano. I cannot see it clearly. Its face. The tunnel stretches into the dark. Walk down the tunnel. It is a very small room. In the center lies a deep pit. A ladder goes down. It is so dark. Down there it lies. It waits. I will not continue. I must go back. Go down the ladder. I cannot! I can hear it with me. Its breath. Dear God, I must flee. You must continue. It waits for me. It waits down there. I have gone down the ladder. I cannot see. It is pitch dark. I can feel its breath. It is here. It is with me. Well, enough. We went too far, my friend. You're right. I don't think he would I did not think he would react this way. You did well by stopping the trance, Kaufman. I think it would be best if we leave it for today. Let us return to the inn. Reflect tonight on what we have witnessed here. Tomorrow, let's discuss the next steps in our investigations. January 21st, 1893. Come in. Kaufman, are you all right? Worry not, Wakefield. I am just feeling a bit feeble. It must be this cold and humidity. Nothing serious. I would like to know your opinion about what we heard during yesterday's session. Do you remember any things that could help us in our research? I believe that this underground tunnel has left a deep impression on Professor Wright's subconsciousness. I agree. The horror he experienced at the end of the session was far too intense to derive solely from his imagination. It speaks of some trauma. The sea was a recurring theme during the hypnotic regression. Yes, it is true. Maybe the entrance of this tunnel is somewhat closer to the coast. Throughout the trance, he saw an unknown figure with no visible face, the floating body in the water, the person near the rocks, the one beside the piano. Yes, indeed, but I am afraid I guess I missed a couple things there. I must have gone straight to the piano and I could have explored a little bit. Yes, indeed, but I am afraid it is too soon to unveil the true meaning of those images. Professor Wright mentioned a man that shouted at him near the entrance to the tunnel, begging him not to continue. I cannot remember his name. Very good! That was Oscar. We should attempt to find him. He may know something about Professor Wright's fears. If we cannot find this man, I am sure If we can find this man, I am sure we will shed some light upon the mystery. Why don't you go to the village and try to find out something about Oscar? My apologies, but I must stay here and recover my strength. Wickport Inn. And Town Square. So what about the thing at the puzzle with the statues? Okay, I'll just forget that ever existed. The Fisherman's Lodge. Like, maybe I went too quick and finished everything, but it did kind of force me along there near the end. Lodges are a great place to find information. An old poster of a local traditional sport. Good morning. Let me drink in peace. Are you a ship captain? Why, what's it to you? Does I look like a captain? Because of the hat you're wearing. Ah, a hat don't make a captain, Townie. You can buy a hat like this in any flea market in England. Because of your hands, calloused by years of knotting rope and reeling in line. Any fisherman has hands like these. Because of your coarse skin, weathered by years of salt and wind. You met many folk in Wickport yet. It's common enough round these parts. Because of the 3 earrings you are wearing. You have doubled the 3 capes, is that right? Indeed I have. Good Hope, Leewin, and Horn. Therefore I hold the right to stand before kings and to piss against the wind. Not that that's smart. If I dies in the sea, these 3 rings'll pave my wake. But no, that'll not happen now. What do you mean, that you will not set sail again? I love the sea more than anything, but is my passion, my freedom, and my life. But there are many things about him that we do not know. There are far from the coast in the deep dark things we still unprepared to behold. Believe me, those things wait deep down. Oh, excuse me. Have you seen any of those things? No, but you may have heard one or two of the stories the fishermen tell, but things seen out there. It is naught but tales for young uns, mere superstition from men too cowardly to face the dark. Any good seaman knows that in the strong wind a stretched rope can shake and sing. I myself have mistaken such caning for the wail of a child, but there was one time it was nothing of the sort. Then the sea howled. It was not thunder, nor a strong wave crashing on my ship, no. It was like a voice. It spoke to me in a language I cannot describe, a sound muttered by a living something, a call unlike anything I ever heard before. And I understood. What did you understand? I understood there was no more freedom for me, that the sea now had other lords, and whoever they were, I did know that they would not share it. Huh. Well, alrighty then. That's kind of a leap of logic, but we'll go with that. What happened then? As I navigated back to shore, I lost control of my ship in a great storm. The rocks of the cliff did the rest. I do not know where the remains of my dear Augustine ended up, but the passing of years and tides, I looked for them once for many moons, but all I found was this bar and the bottom of an empty glass. I have never returned to the shore since. May she forgive me. Now leave me be. I will leave you alone to your thoughts. You have the gratitude of me and my whiskey. All that blathering worked up a right soul thirst. And I'm pretty sure doing anything else is working up a nice right thirst with you, sir, but I will just walk away. This lady is dressed rather elegantly for someone who came to the drink in a place like this. Those two fishermen have just given me a suspicious look. Well, that's too bad. The wheel taken from the helm of a ship, perhaps a trinket from the owner's days as a ship's helmsman. And old pictures of the village's inhabitants. Good morning. You want a drink? What is with that man sitting in the corner? Fred, you can ignore him. He's a sad, lonely drunk. Do you know a man called Oscar? You mean Father Oscar? You can find him in the church. When he's not here, it's right outside. Oh, the father sitting around inside of a pub. Well, I guess that kind of makes sense. They probably have food there, too. It's probably the only restaurant in town, considering how small this place is. I would leave you to work. Godspeed! Bottles of rum, dark beer, and a couple of taps of pale ale. Okay. Oh, there's somebody at the window. Well, fine, be that way. The window's closed shut. And who said that these small towns are supposed to be friendly? This is the door of the church of Wickport. It is closed. Well, I can see that, but is it locked? Some abandoned wooden planks. Perhaps they are here for the repair of a local fishing boats. Can't take anything. An old rotting boat rests on the shore. The name Providence is written on the side. A log. Everyone wants a log. Everyone loves a log. Hey, what's this? An old rusty bronze bell, typical of a seafaring vessel. It is engraved with the name Augustine. Well, that didn't take me long to find. This guy is not very good at finding things. Someone may be able to tell me more about it. Like the guy who was trying to find the wreckage of his boat and couldn't find it, sitting right here on the shore, like 5 feet away from his town. This old ship is completely wrecked. In the far distance, I can see a lonely tree bent by the sea wind. That's interesting. I wonder what the importance of that is. Maybe there is no importance. Maybe I'm just, you know... Maybe it was just on a whim. Hey, look, there's a tree in the distance. Let's give the player the opportunity of looking at it. What was that? Maybe it was just snow, but... Oh, yeah, it's nothing. How far can I go over to this side? No, nothing. Okay. Okay, so we go back up and let's give this guy the bell. You want to talk yet? Arg! Well, fine. I'll just keep walking then. I'll go talk to the drunk guy inside the restaurant here. I'll give him his bell. I was going to give it to you, but...
Why, that bell is from Augustine! My Augustine! Where on earth did you find it?
I found it on the beach near the shipwreck, about 5 feet away. If you were any sort of sober, you probably could have found it yourself, you lush. Oh, sorry, it doesn't say that.
I thought I would never see it again. I will clean it and make it shine anew.
Yes, I hear if you pour some whiskey over it and wipe it with a rag, it'll make it look quite nice.
Wickport Beach? Our beach? Why, I must go straight away. Oh, to be reunited with my poor Augustine. What will remain of her? No, I dare not go. Oh, but I must. Good day to you, sir.
I'm glad that your little bout of indecisiveness is cleared up that nice and quickly. Alright, let's go see how things go. And now piano music kicks in. Arg! I almost had you on that one, ma'am. I still got this cloth.
Neither the cracks in your hull nor your flaking paint, none of it matters. You are beautiful as ever, Augustine. Today we will watch the sun set together. Good sir, I cannot put into words what a great service you have rendered this drunken knave. Just as you, a stranger, have brought me to my lost treasure, may this old sailor's spyglass, in whatever way it can, help light the way to yours. Take it. It is a gift from the heart.
Okay. Well, thank you. How am I going to use a spyglass? I still need to figure out how to use that rag, and I still got to figure out how to... Let's see, is this still closed? That's still closed. Alright, I'm gonna assume that I need to go out and back to the mansion. Maybe I can... Okay, I can't go to the mansion. Let's go to the inn. Maybe I can talk to Mr. Coffee. It's Kaufman's, which is pretty interesting considering the guy is hacking up a lung right now. How are you feeling? I am feeling alright, my friend. Just a bit tired. I have discovered the identity of the man we seek. Oscar is the priest of Wickport Parish. The church door is closed. My dear Wakefield, what evidence can I offer? Advice can I offer? A church would not remain closed all day. If you must wait, then do so. And in the meantime, talk to the villagers. Perhaps they will reveal something useful about the professor. I will let you rest. Thank you, my friends. Oh, thank you for being useful. Oh, hey, let's try the telescope on the window. Nope. Fine. It is still snowing. Hell. Alright, back to the town square. I hope they let me go back there and, like... I hope they let me go back there to go and figure out what happened with those statues. I wonder if you know when the church are open. I knocked on the door, but there was no answer.
Church? Let me give you some advice. Barmaids aren't the people to ask about church opening hours. This here bar is my church. Most of the village have come to see things my way, too. We praise here these days.
The whole village has forsaken the church. But why?
The town is forsaken. No work on the coast these days, see? Few can make a living. Most of the fishers and sailors have up and left. Half the cottages lie abandoned. Those who stayed, they barely leave their homes. Except to come here, of course.
But surely there must be more than just this. Many coastal towns face the same struggle, but none lie abandoned.
Well, there's rumors, silly stories if you ask me, about some but some take 'em real serious.
Excuse me.
Fishers, big dependable guys, they'll tell you they've seen stuff there on the water, apparitions, shapes among the rocks. I say it's the booze talking, and I should know. Who could see anything in all that mist anyway? But fishers, they're superstitious. Folk believed the tales, and one by one they just didn't come home no more.
Have you ever met Mr. Professor Wright?
The professor? Sure, saw him every other day as a young'un, always involved in the village. He was a la-di-da, all right, but folks respected him. He got stuck in. Didn't last, though. Shut himself away, started getting visitors from out of town. He stopped coming to the village eventually. Last I heard, he'd gone crazy.
Like everybody else?
No one knows for sure, though. Been years since I last saw him.
Can you tell me about Captain Morval? Does he come here often?
Fred? He's a regular, a sad, lonely drunk.
I will leave you to your work.
Godspeed.
Okay, can't talk to anybody. I can't give this to people. Okay, well, let's see. Are you available to chat? Tell you what, I'll just throw a rock at you the next time. That way it'll keep you from closing the darn window. It is closed. Okay, weird. I wonder if there's a way maybe I can check out the coast. Nope. I can't do anything. Am I able to talk to some of these people? Oh, suspicious look still. Elegant lady. I've already talked with her as much as I can. I've talked with Kaufman as much as I can. I have a telescope. What am I going to need? What do I use the telescope on? There's also the planks down below. Whew. Nope. Lantern? Nope. This is the part where you just start using random stuff on random other stuff. There's the log. Maybe I can get something out of the sailor dude.
Today we will watch the sunset together.
Okay, good for you. I have no idea what I'm doing with you people. Why do I feel like I missed something back there? And like I'm missing something major back beforehand and I'm gonna have to backtrack or something. Like I can't go anywhere else that I can see. I'll try knocking on... did I just try knocking on the door of the... Oh, excuse me. Did I already try knocking on the door of the church again? No, that's still closed. Oh! I snuck up on her! Excuse me, are you spying on me?
I'm sorry, I did not mean to. You're not from these parts, are you?
No, I am just passing through. Are you alright?
Yes.
Could you do me...
Could you do me a favor? For a long time I have wanted to visit the tomb of my lover, but I cannot leave the house due to my illness. Could you please leave these flowers there? No one in this village will do the service for me.
Alright, where is that place?
Oh, you could not know how grateful I am. You are a good, kind person. You can go to the graveyard through that path right there. The name you need to look for is Carter.
Well, cool! He had to sneak up and kind of be like a snake. Why were you spying on me?
Oh, do not put it like that. It sounds so terrible. I just watch folk passing by. I cannot leave the house, so I spend my days at the window. It is awful interesting. You learn a lot about people this way, you know?
Really? What can you tell me about myself?
I have only observed you for a while, but I can tell you are on an important mission looking for someone dear. There is a worry over your shoulders, and a long way ahead of you.
Well, that is remarkable. I am frankly astonished. Let me see. What can you tell me about the barmaid?
Ava is a woman with a strong character. Once I saw her kick out a group of drunk sailors from the pub without a doubt. She's in a bad mood lately, because business is not what it used to be. She will not leave the village, though, as did the others.
Let me see. What can you tell me about the Captain Morvell?
Poor Fred is always drunk. In the old times, when he was not sailing, he had long walks on the beach and looked happy, but now, rare is the occasion when he gives a quick glance at the coast. He has lost all hope.
What can you tell me about Father Oscar?
He is a man who has lost his purpose. I see him walking aimlessly in the morning and evening, nervous and doubtful.
I should go. Thanks for everything, and you have a good day. Alright, that worked. Graveyard. Rose Carter, 1840 to 1845. Ah. The bells of the church. It seems the priest is calling mass. Bury my body with the salted driftwood, with the green seaweeds and the worn-out ropes, where I can feel the cold autumn breeze. Gerald Belly, 1810 to 1875. Oh, excuse me. Farewell to those of you that walk beside my grave. Here I lie, my name written on stone under the sun. Mary Jane Bennett, 1861 to 1890. Like 29 years old, right? Do not bring flowers to this place, for rum is all I crave. Now I rest under the same stars I sailed by when alive. Daniel Aberton, 1798 to 1842. Wow. Oh, here's the bent tree. A windswept old gnarly tree is clinging onto the cliff with what roots remain. Someday it will fall into the ocean below. Good morning. I am Dr. Wakefield.
You came from the town, don't you? You needn't answer. I know by your accent. Be careful around these cliffs. There's no place for tourists. It's hardly a place for anyone now.
The man snorts.
You best be on your way back. Strange things have been happening here.
What do you mean?
Seamen and fishermen alike swear to have heard voices in the rising tide. Inhuman screams, some of them say. And there are some who claim to have witnessed ungodly things in the dead of night. I once saw a ghastly thing crawling out there among the rocks.
People have heard screams coming from the sea.
Bloody drunks, they say the sea howls at them, as if that was something new.
What did you see in the rocks?
thing, the one you saw on the rocks. Can you tell me about it?
Last night it was, me on my boat, fishing, that's when I gets the best catch. Then I saw it, not under the water as others say, it was on a rock, parched there, like it was smelling or something. The shape of it, like nothing I saw before, not walking on the earth, nor swimming in the sea. The thing was big and hunched over, like a crouching man. The way it moved, it made my flesh crawl. Whatever it was, the mist itself was its ally, hiding it from my bare eyes, and in the end disappearing away altogether. I swear, should I see that horror again, I will take my most vicious harpoon and thrust it so deep in its wretched body that they will have to bury them together.
So what are you doing up here?
I came here when I can to watch the shore, just in case that thing comes back. The mist down there is just too thick. I can see better from here, even if my eyes are not what they used to be. Damn it, if I could somehow regain my sharp sight again, by God I would impale that abomination for sure.
Sharp rocks peek out from beneath the waves. There must be treacherous waters to sail. Do I give him this? Here, would this help you watch the shore?
Why, it is old to be sure, but this telescope has been patched up to a rare beauty. You have my thanks, stranger. I am indebted. Oh, what is that? On the cliff there, well below me. Well, blow me, but if it isn't the Wright's old summer house. I thought it entirely destroyed. It looks like you can get there using the old cliff path.
Excuse me, did you say the Wright's summer house?
Well, yes, I never saw it myself. I was too young at the time, but everyone around here knows the story well. It was a terrible tragedy, you see. One night there was a landslide just beneath the house. Most of the building fell sheer into the sea, leaving only yonder ruins. Many died, though by a miracle some master of Wright was spared.
Oh! Okay, so the falling mud that they talked about in the story, that they talked about before in the trance. When the guy was in the trance, he talked about falling mud. It was the landslide, and then there's a cave nearby.
You can see it from here. Look, right there on the other side of the beach. Do you see it?
Ooh. We're getting places. But I still want to figure out what was in that darn, I still want to see what was inside that statue. I think I missed it. That's terrible. Well, let's go talk to the church guy. Let's try and get as much of this stuff here done before I accidentally miss something else. If they let me go back, that'd be nice, but I doubt they're going to do that. Excuse me. Okay, now will she close the window if I walk up? Nope. Okay, cool. Actually, let's ask her about that guy. I left the flowers at your lover's grave, as you asked.
Thank you so much. I am in your debt.
Oh, well, I guess that's it. I should go. Thanks for everything and have a good day. A confessional. So Wakefield serves as a Catholic religion. Good morning.
Good morning, my son.
What is the matter, Father? What has happened to your parishioners?
The village has seen bleak times. Many have left, and the rest have lost their faith. Every day I ring the bells, but no one answers. May God have mercy on their souls.
Why do you suppose that is?
I could not say. The mist that shrouds this coast and the shapes that swell within have long been a source of heresy.
Of hearsay. Heresy. Hearsay.
But lately the stories people tell are not of pirates and smugglers, but something more sinister. Some say the devil himself has come to our shore, and it is a rumor I dare not disregard.
Are you personally acquainted with the Professor Wright?
Why, yes, of course. Adam is not merely a parishioner, but one of my closest friends. Since our youth, we enjoyed many scholarly, but sometimes quiet, fervent discussions. He being an anthropologist and myself a theologian. That is, until he fell ill, but since he is like that, I have not visited him.
I must go, Father. Wait a moment, please. I need to ask for a small favor. Please give this to Adam. I don't know if it will mean anything to him now, but it will bring peace to my soul if there is some token of our friendship resting by his side. Oh, thank goodness. Yes! Okay, we can go back to the manor. Let's get to the manor and figure out what those statues were doing. Ah, that makes me happy. I don't think I'm gonna miss the... I should be able to get all that figured out now. Because I didn't want to end up like totally missing something major. And it could be that there's stuff in these games that you can miss. You know, it's just like little things that help the story along. And I think especially in Season 2. There it is. What do we have here? The clay vessel held by the statue is now broken into many pieces. There's an object among them. It must have been hidden inside. It looks like a compass. It must be broken, since it does not point north. Seemingly random directions. Oh. Oh, it's pointing to something. I'm gonna follow the compass. I'll drop that thing off at some point. Okay, let's drop it off because it's taking me away. Oh, it's locked. The main door is closed from the inside. Oh, fine. I guess I'll go around the back door. Actually, what is it that he wants me to give him? A picture of two young men. They could be Professor Wright and Father Oscar. Well, the back door's open. It got dark. And all the doors are closed. The door is locked with a key. Isn't that his bedroom? That's interesting. Well, I can't get to him. Actually, this is very much like... You know what? This looks just like the hallway from the first episode in the first season. It is locked. What's going on around here? This is really weird. Like, is the housekeeper gone? Oh wait, wasn't this door locked? Yes, it was. A cage covered with an embroidered cloth. The end of the phrase is written on it, "A visitor will call." It is a simple wooden wardrobe. There is nothing of interest in here. A coat stand. There is a closed chest here. There is a key inside. I'm thinking this is for his bedroom, so I'm gonna try and head in that direction, but... Ugh. What's going on in here now? Could you guys try and stay sane for like 5 seconds long enough for me to not be freaked out? Okay. Unless this key goes here. Nope. Yep, that was it. Professor Wright is not here. Oh boy.
There is an open book on the floor. The Book of Birds. It is a compilation of legends related to birds. Some of the text has been marked. The birds were traveling to meet their king when they reached a crossroads. The wretched crow tried to lead them astray and into the path of mists. Many birds followed him and were lost forever beyond that veil. Only the wisdom of the crested hoopoe and the prudence of the red-feathered robin could lead the remaining 28 back onto the path of righteousness, ever since the birds have sung their praise. For without the hoopoe and the robin, silence would have fallen forever. The hoopoe and the robin, those are the two I need to cover. Okay, it was the crested hoopoe. Professor Wright's dressing gown and slippers. So wherever this guy is, he's nude. That could be the scariest part of this whole game. Okay. Let's go deal with these birds. Which was in the library. Oh, the fire's out. The fire is out. How did this happen? Well, you know, if you dump enough water on there or something. Like, I think I could probably just skip all of this, but, I mean, would you really want to? Okay, where's the robin and the crested hoopoe? Black head and orange breast, that's not it. Corvix cornus, it's a crow with a black and gray feathers. Nope. A small bird with black and white wings and a feathered crest. That could be it. Let me find the other one first. A black with a yellow beak. Gray breast. Robins have a red breast. Bird of the pale brown. Nope. Nope. Red feathers on its head and breast. I think that's it. So there's one. And I'm going to say that it's this guy too. All the birds have suddenly stopped their chittering. Oh, I was right. Doorbells? It sounds as if there's someone at the door. The door has been opened. I'm gonna go hide in the fireplace. It might actually be better than this maneuver. Hello? Ah! My God, Mr. Wright! The poor man, it looks as if his heart gave out on him. His eyes, my God, they are fixed with an expression of utmost terror. Let me see, his fists are clenched. He is holding on to something. It is some kind of stone figurine. He is holding it tightly, as if he was protecting it from someone. The figurine is beautifully carved, but it appears to be one half of a larger artifact. The window is open. A cold wind blows into the room. A cheerful scene that would have lifted my heart on any other day. It stands in a stark contrast to the tragedy that has befallen this house. An old wardrobe. Well, we could always look inside of it.
There is a thin layer of dust on the coat rack, but not on the coat. This is serious. I must break the news to Kaufman, and of course the local authorities will have to be informed. Good grief. Kaufman, what is the matter? Kaufman!
Don't worry, I gave him a mild sedative. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Dr. Armitage. The innkeeper called me because he was worried about your friend.
Pleased to meet you. I am Dr. Wakefield. What are Kaufman's symptoms?
Strong cough, general feebleness, dizziness. It is too soon yet for a diagnosis. It could be a simple cold, but the sudden onset and severity of his symptoms is certainly a concern. He must be monitored for the next few hours at least. Don't worry, Dr. Wakefield. I will remain here and take care of your friend.
Doctor, this is far more from my speciality, but do you think it could be something more serious?
It is too soon to know. Let us wait and see how his condition develops.
Kaufman is asleep. He breathes heavily and looks very pale.
Arr.
An ugly painting. Well, I'm glad we got a nice description on that.
Okay.
I was gonna follow the. Let's try and follow this. Oh, I'm gonna follow the compass. The compass points to this grave. With my hands. Oh, there's the other half of the thing. There's something buried here. An engraved stone. It seems to be only half of a larger statuette. Joined together, the two pieces form an intricately carved figurine or idol. It is ancient, without a doubt. Let's see if this guy has seen anything yet. Have you been seeing anything splashing around in the water that's not supposed to be there?
I will not waver in my determination to destroy that thing, not while this old body of mine endures.
Okay. We could also go check on the captain, I guess. Why do I have... Okay, the statue is going to be something I'm going to use probably down on the cliffs. I think I've almost gotten everything I need to figure out what's going on. Town Square. Oh, she's gone. Or he. I'm not sure. The church is closed. Alright. Okay. Apparently there's nothing there. So I think I have to go to the cliff. I think that's it. It's just like, everything's shut down. Let's go check it out. The roots of this venerable tree tightly grip the rocks that anchor it against the harsh winds. Ooh, this looks good. The foundations of this house are heavily damaged. I must proceed with utmost care. It could collapse at any time. An empty wardrobe. Its wood is rotted from long exposure to the sea air. This landscape shows the house as it was before the landslide ruined it. Wow, that whole piece of the house came off. There's a peculiar indentation in the stone, which I'm gonna assume is for the idol. Ha ha! Thunk! It has triggered some secret mechanism. There is a passage behind the fireplace. It seems to lead into the cliff. This must be the entrance to the underground tunnel. I must go on. There is a note on the floor. Whatever you find down here, do not stop. Interesting. I still got the matches, and I've got the... Okay, I remember it was north, right? And nope, that's a dead end. So don't stop, so just keep going. It is some viscous substance. It could be some kind of fungus, or maybe the decomposed remains of an animal. That's a good sign. If there is something down here, I mean, how did it not get out? This part of the cave is blocked by a cave-in. Oh, this is the house. That's the basement of the house right there. So... there's the hole. There is a wide pit in the middle of the chamber. It descends deep into the dark. I think I hear the sound of sea far below. Okay, I can't do anything there. Am I looking... I think this is a maze. Okay, I haven't gone this way yet, I don't think, so let's go check this out. I think that's where the water is, right? Yeah, so what I want to do is go this way to see if there's maybe something here. Oh, boy, that sounds good. These are human remains. The flesh is gone, but the bones look undisturbed. How long have they lain here? Why on earth did Professor Wright not alert the authorities? I must press on. What possible research could have led to this? Do you really want the answer to that question? Let's go and check the other way first before I go walking right in toward the creepy piano music. Maybe they'll give me, like, I don't know, a firearm. That would be useful. Hi. The hole goes deep into the wall of the cave. Okay, so there's not much I'm doing there. I gotta head the other way and let's check the piano music. So I think this thing is a person that they dropped down here to try and send them to the Veil, through the Veil. Sorry I interrupted you.
There's a strange metal device hanging from the ceiling. There is a grand piano placed in the middle of the room.
I don't want to go over there.
I hope this isn't like a legitimate maze. Whoa. The drawing represents a human figure stepping through some sort of archway or door. The last door. Okay, there's nothing in there. This reminds me of kind of like the whole idea of the Minotaur inside the catacombs. It's like the huge maze and the Perseus has to track it down. There's a strange metal device hanging from the ceiling. A method of talking to it. I feel like I am getting closer. What is this place? Oh, this is like all the science work they were doing. A strange machine. It does not seem to be working anymore. There is a note on the floor. Who has gone will be back not the same, but somehow changed, because that which lurks behind the door waits, and no one that has crossed through can hope to escape its blessing. I must tell Kaufman about all this. These clothes are torn down to unrecognizable shreds. There is a tag here with 2 initials, H.A. There is a large archway carved in the stone wall of the cave. So now it's time to get out of here, right? Oh, okay. What was that? Part of the wall of stone seems to have dislodged from it, leaving behind a large dark hole. Holy crap! Okay, no wonder the piano music is so good. He could hit every key at once. Wow! And there it is, folks. I think that's the first true monster this series has had. Thank you very much for dropping by and checking it out. That was episode 2. I guess in the next episode we find out. Is Kaufman going to recover from his cold? And will our good Dr. Wakefield survive his encounter with that thing? But thank you all for checking it out, and hopefully you all liked it, and you all have a great rest of your day.